Good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I try to put something out there every day. Today is a down day. In a sense, you have to learn about trucking. If you don't have patience, this is not the career for you. I am impatient. It was tough to understand. Mark is the most patient man. He is the most perfect person for this job. We had to drop the trailer where it's getting loaded and then leave. They wouldn't leave us on the premises connected to the trailer for safety reasons mostly. So we had to disconnect and come over to the truck stop. So as you can tell, I'm in the truck today. We are still waiting. We have dropped the trailer at 10:30 this morning, and it is now 3:10. So we've been waiting, and I was gonna do laundry, but this loves the washing machines were totally broken. That was kind of a low blow, because I really like to get things done when we have a downtime like this. We did get to shower yesterday, so we didn't really shower today, but I really had laundry to do. So I'm very disappointed that the washing machines were broken here, but that tends to happen all the time, apparently. We've run across it numerous times with the truck stops where the washing machine isn't working, it's not taking your money, or they're all full. Other drivers are doing their laundry at the same time. So today was a really good opportunity to do it, but they were broken. So we have sat here because we're not going to drive around in the bobtail, just driving around. So we stayed here. Hopefully in the next, I don't know how long, but hopefully we'll hear from the shipper that we can go pick up our load. We're taking it to Georgia, South Georgia, almost to Florida. It's like way down on the Florida-Georgia line. Sounds like a country group. But anyway, today, so we're in the truck, and I have caught up on my emails, caught up on other things. We ate a little bit. I snacked a little bit, which trucking and snacking, that can be a very bad combination for some people who are habitual snackers, because you can do that while you're driving. You gain a lot of weight, not healthy. Even, if you can put like carrots and other stuff to snack on, now that's healthy, but that's not always readily available at truck stops. They do have the little cups that have it in it, and they have, but then again, I don't know truck stops. I assume they change this stuff out pretty regular. Mark and I have gotten sick from the Flying J in, that was Texarkana, right? That we got sick? Mark? It was Texarkana that we got food poisoning?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was rancid, I think, tomato sauce, but that was in Texarkana. That was, I don't know, 12 years ago. I don't know. It was a long time when I first started driving in 2007. So 2008, maybe 9. So anyway, we got sick, and when you're both sick on the truck, we were team driving at the time. Truck smelled horrible. We were throwing up in the garbage can. Being sick on a truck, you don't just have your nice little bed to crawl into. You don't have, if one's driving, the other one's sleeping, you're bouncing down the road like I've shown you. It's very bumpy, and when you're sick, that's just like a no-go. So finally, we told our company that we were both very ill, and we were able to get a hotel room for a couple of days and recuperate, because being sick on the truck is no joke. So they don't want you driving if you're super sick. Now, if you have a cold or just slight allergy, stuff like that, and you can't even take medication when you drive. You can't take anything that could cause drowsiness, that can cause, any type of side effect that could affect your driving. As a driver, you cannot take. So, unless of course you're down and not going to drive, then you can take it. But you have to be very careful with even over-the-counter medicines. You have to be very cautious with that when you're a driver. And cough medicine to NyQuil, all those things you cannot have those. So we stock up on Tylenol, we stock up on Aleve. Mark can take things like that. He's had terrible toothaches sometimes while driving, and that is so miserable. I've had to go to the emergency room a couple of times over the years, and normally your company is really cool with that. You just drop the trailer, find a place they can drop the trailer, and that's with the company approval. And then he bobtailed me to the ER, basically pulled the whole tractor right up into the hospital, near the hospital parking, and they came out and got me. A couple of times I was so violently ill, I don't know, I had eaten something or something happened, and then I had a uterine cyst that they diagnosed as cancer, and then came back once they completely operated and took it out, the size of a grapefruit, took it out, that it was non-cancerous, thank God. So that happened while I was driving. I was off, then I had a hysterectomy with it, obviously, so I was off for 6 weeks. They wouldn't let you back on the truck for that, so you really need that insurance. We had short-term medical, so I could get paid while I was not on the truck. Then Mark just drove solo during that time. So anyway, I'm going to recap real quick. Number one, you have to have patience. You have got to be patient. Shippers don't move very quickly for you. They're not going to move fast just because you are on the clock and you're out of hours, or, you know, whatever. They don't care. So you need to plan your time wisely. If you don't have enough hours to get that load and get out of the shipper's area, you need to let your dispatch know that, hey, I am low on hours. I'm not going to be able to get a live load done. If it's a drop and hook is exactly what it is. You're not getting loaded. It's already loaded. Excuse me. So you're going to drop your empty, go pick up the one that's already preloaded, and leave. Those are the best. Those are easy times. That's great. But today we're getting a live load, and live load is exactly how it sounds. But you know, patience is something that if you don't have it, you're going to really be miserable. Really, really miserable. So I have found things to occupy my time while we're waiting. Playing on the phone. I go through clothing sometimes. We keep our clothing up here and behind me, and then over here is basically a lot of our food and so forth. Then we have a refrigerator down here. It's about the size of maybe, like, I don't know, a hotel probably or something. And then we have a microwave, which comes in really handy. When we first started driving, all we had was like a lunchbox that heated up. It was horrible. It took forever to heat something up, and then when it did, it got really, really hot. And anyway, microwave is a good thing. So I kind of go through some of that sometimes. Mark can take a nap. You can catch up on your sleep sometimes if you didn't sleep well the night before. But always leave your phone on, because the shipper's going to call and say, hey, you're done. You need to come get the load. So once again, patience is huge. And if you're a sickly person where you constantly get either hay fever all the time, or colds, you're susceptible to catching viruses all the time, trucking may not be for you either, because of your medication limitations on that, because you definitely can't just sit and take medication and drive. That doesn't make sense. The ones that make you sleepy, that's not going to fly. So we do have urine tests on occasion. DOT can stop you and get you to do anything, whether you can't refuse it. You know, if you get pulled into a weigh station, they can say, oh, we need to do a random, I don't know, and then your company sends you randoms over the Qualcomm and say, oh, your number came up today. You need to go to such and such, like a Concentra or one of the other, like, clinics or something, and then they do a urine test, and you have 24 hours usually to get that done, and if you don't, that's automatic termination. So you have to be prepared for that. So you can't just willy-nilly risk it. It's really not worth it. And besides, who wants to have an accident and hurt somebody? Or, you know, because in a big truck, you'll probably be okay if you hit a four-wheeler, but they won't be. The passenger won't be in the passenger car. Now, if you hit another big truck, well, then it's just, I don't know, both drivers, you know, you run the risk really bad there. So I wouldn't even chance it if I, you know, and I didn't for a lot of years. I couldn't even be around marijuana. I couldn't be where people were smoking it. It couldn't get into my hair. They cut hair. They did hair tests. And you know, the second hand and being all of that, you just can't chance that, and you shouldn't. So, like I said, those two things are really important if you're considering being a driver. And as a woman, if you're a younger woman, you have certain things that, you know, you need to take care of every month. And that can be not much fun in a truck. You're not a lot of times near, you know, places to buy things, but truck stops, yes, but, you know, sometimes out in New Mexico or Arizona, there's long periods of time where you're not accessible to anything but a rest area, and usually that's all just a garbage can off to the side. There's really nothing else. So you kind of have to take all of that into consideration if you're a woman also, that it's not friendly to that kind of thing. Trucking isn't. You learn to make do. We can talk about bathroom stuff later, because that's another question I get asked all the time is, what do you have to do when you have to go to the bathroom? We'll get into that later. That's another segment. But in the meantime, patience, and if you're a sickly person, like sickly with catching things all the time, trucking may not be for you either, because it's very miserable to be sick on the truck. It's really miserable. So anyways, and hope you enjoyed today. Like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that, but I'm new to this, so like and subscribe, and we'll see you on down the road.